what do you say to the people that actually want to learn about the skills in this community, but they feel like they don't have maybe the time or the resources? What would you say to that?
I think one thing actually you mentioned to me a while back, Isaiah, is that there's so many ways to get and consume content now in the space, including plenty of great resources at CoinDesk, right? Whether it's podcasts or Twitter, and a little goes a long way, right? Even just exposing yourself, having constant exposure, whether it's through listening to podcasts while you're working out or in the shower, or just like kind of keeping up with just even a bit of crypto Twitter, as weird as it can be at times, I think just helps you start to learn the vocabulary and kind of the ins and outs of the space. I mean, when you first get started, right, it can be freaking bewildering, right? Like, what are these people talking about? But the more you expose yourself to this language, concepts start to make sense. And I think you'll pick up on these resources kind of organically, right? You'll start to see, okay, these people seem to be credible, right? These people seem to be have a certain gravity in the space and taken seriously. And I think that's one way to learn, and one way to kind of get even break in is just to kind of go there yourself, start interacting. I mean, Twitter is a very weirdly welcoming space in crypto. And I mean, believe me, it can be a bruising, awful space too. But it's very transparent and open, right? People are having conversations, and it's kind of there for all to see in the kind of transparent ethos of blockchain. So I think just kind of like just soaking in this atmosphere will help go a long way to kind of getting up to speed.
Oh, yes. And Boyd, same question to you as well. Sort of follow up with that, the vetting of correct information and how you can find the resources needed to be self-taught.
Yeah, for me, Jeff touched on one that I think is critical, which is actually podcasts. There's so much great content in podcasts today. I literally have about 15 favorite podcasts, not exaggerating. I listen to at least 10 hours of podcasts a week. And what Jeff said is like my strategy. So I mountain bike every weekend. I used to listen to music. Now I'm 100% blockchain podcast. I'm learning by osmosis no matter what I do. When I do my commute every Monday to Friday, podcast, it's about an hour commute each way, so I can get at least 10 hours a weekend. And I listen to diverse points of view as well. Like, you don't want to just go down one rabbit hole, down one blockchain sort of area, but try to learn from a range of thought leaders and experts. So that's one thing I do all the time to stay up to speed. And the second one that hasn't been mentioned yet that I think is critical is find a community of around an organization, around a blockchain project that you're interested in, and just start popping in. Find their Discord channel, watch for a while, observe for a while, and then start engaging when you feel like you want to engage. And for me, the two ways I learned the most about blockchain have been podcasts and engaging with other blockchain communities via Discord.
I think that's a great point Boyd made. And when I was writing an article about DAOs a while back, one thing I found is that so many people broke into the space, not just in terms of learning about it, but actually getting jobs or gigs or paying gigs that are, in a very 2022 kind of squishy way. Is it a job, or is it a gig, or is it a contribution? These are all kind of gray areas now, but people start by, as Boyd's saying, getting into Discord channels and kind of just listening and interacting. Next thing you know, they're like being tapped to be a community manager. Hey, can you help moderate this chat room or this Twitter space or whatever? And it tends to snowball. So I think just like showing up, asking questions, observing, and just jumping in and kind of just doing small things to be part of the community, that goes a long way, and actually is a genuine way people get started with real jobs in this space.
Right. And I appreciate you both mentioning that, because podcast, Discord, a lot of different ways for people to get into this industry and to be self-taught.